Communities near St. Louis, this is the second time in the past 2 years that the Merrimack River sent floodwaters racing toward their homes and their businesses.
Arnold, Missouri, one of those towns, and our Scott Newell is there. Scott, you know, this is the second time in 2 years these folks have been dealing with the flooding, and you could hear the frustration in the one person you talked to's voice. I got to imagine, you know, once again, you've got disappointment and anger. A little bit about the wake low, and it can be sneaky because, you know, these come not during the worst of the thunderstorm.
Power lines in these kind of areas.
Interesting phenomenon, and that's exactly what surprised some people, because you get it with the blue sky, or at least the clearing skies after the thunderstorm.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't have these black skies and the obviously threatening skies approaching like you do on the front side of the squall line. But here, you often get clearing skies, and whoops, all of a sudden, it's just, hey, it's windy. What's causing this?
Right.
It is kind of a surprise phenomenon. That's one that's not easy to predict. Sometimes you can detect it, but mainly just because you're getting reports that it's occurring, more so than you can. We can use radar pretty well to detect these squall line driven winds, but not so much for these wake low features.
Yeah, we did see it a little bit over here on the radar image and our reports of wind. We had 32-mile-per-hour gusts there in Talladega, and a 9-mile-per-hour, or rather 20-mile-per-hour gusts in Gadsden.
But it's like detection. That's the key. You know, mesonets aren't everywhere. Well, houses knocked off their foundations, floating down rivers during the West Virginia flash floods of June 2016. Don't miss Top 10 Flash Floods tonight, 8/7 Central, right here on the Weather Channel.
In the meantime, you are watching Weather Underground, and we're so glad you are. I'm Alex Olson.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Bettis. Okay, a very active week of weather. We know we've had a lot of storms blasting the center of the country, heavy rain. A lot of communities still underwater this evening. Numerous roadways still remain closed.
A lot of people saying online, is that enough? You know, we stress turn around, don't drown. A lightning strike from storms took out a Doppler radar in Springfield, Missouri, leaving meteorologists without their most valuable tool when it actually comes to tracking storms.
But a much bigger threat than lightning these days is aging equipment. In Atlanta, repairs to the National Weather Service radar just wrapped up today, and data is now flowing after being down for nearly 2 weeks. Our Jim Cantori visited the repair team who worked to get it back in service.
With over one
knows a lot about him.
They're sitting right there.
Dr. Forbes.
We're going to go to the doctors for some
rads and keeping them operational.
Well, I think they're doing a good job in terms of trying to keep these.
Another 20 years is what they expect to get out of it. 20 years from now. Is that going to be the point, Dr. Navarro, where we need to really now think about something else to replace NexRad?
I mean, if you think about how quickly technology progresses, you know, will the technology 20 years from now far outdate what we currently have? And how relevant is what we're going to have right now? It's a hard question to answer for sure, but I agree with Dr. Forbes. They're doing the best they can with what they're given, and we do have to applaud them for that.
Right. We'll see in 2037 what it looks like, right?
Well, say, hey, yeah, it's going to feel like an abrupt shift for many of us here on the East Coast, because we've got to look all the way out to Greenland to see the reason for this, but some really cold temperatures coming into the East Coast region thanks to this trough that's draped along the East Coast, and it's going to be hanging out here for quite a bit of time. So we're setting up here for a blocking pattern, and with this trough that's exiting off the coast, notice this tongue of cold air that's coming down from the north behind this system. So Atlanta, Alabama, maybe even into Tennessee and South Carolina, some very cold rain in your forecast. This is going to bring back some memories of perhaps January in a lot of cases, because these temperatures are going to feel a little bit cold based on what we're expecting to see for May. But looking ahead for Saturday, notice that pattern not going anywhere. We have this very high ridge building up in the Atlantic. Again, this blocking pattern set up. We call this an omega block. If you watched the show yesterday, we talked about it. It's because it looks like the Greek symbol there for omega. But notice nothing is moving. This pattern is basically like a traffic jam where nothing can go anywhere. And so looking at the temperatures, you can see we're looking that we're going to be below average both into tomorrow and then, guys, even into Sunday.
Have a seat, Dr. Navarro, because we're going to play one of our favorite games here. And I know you're new to this game. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to play over-under. We're going to talk about those temperatures. Are you guys all well-versed on the temperatures?
No!
No? Okay, great. This can make it really fun then. All right, 32 degrees, okay? That's your over-under. The forecast through the weekend. Is anyone going to get to 32 this weekend with this cold plunge you were just talking about? First city up, Minneapolis, through the weekend, over or under 32 degrees. What do you think? We've got over, everyone's over? Yeah. Next up, 2 degrees through the weekend.
Ooh.
Over, under. Give it to South Bend, Indy this weekend. Under.
Oh, I don't know.
Over Navarro. Let's take it to Toledo, Ohio, okay? Over or under? Under.
Oh.
Over. Navarro's on. Morgantown, West Virginia.
Uh-oh.
Got some elevation now.
Show me Morgantown.
Under. You're all loose. That cold. Thanks for playing, everybody.
I'm not playing.
We tried.
Wilson, come on back.
Fine.
Wondering what the heck is up with us. That's right,
How do
baby.
they walk? Do they walk like this?
May the 4th be with you.
I don't think that. There you go.
Have a great night.
Remember, together